How much trouble is the GOP in?
It's in a fair amount of trouble. It's not in more trouble than it was in '93 after First President Bush lost to Clinton, or in '76 after Ford lost to Carter.
Where does the Republican Party go from here?
World of pain, a generation of pain. 64, it was so much better than now. In 64, they had a coherent belief system. They lost. They didn't persuade the American people about it, but they understood where they wanted to take the country. Now it's just a circular firing squad with everybody attacking each other and no coherent belief system, no leaders.
Who is the leader of the Republican Party at this moment?
I think there's a lot. I just mentioned some of them.
But there's no one leader. There's no one leader at the moment.
They will figure one out. They will, have someone emerge as the leader.
You got half the party waiting for Sarah Palin to come and rescue them, the other half waiting for Bobby Jindal, the Louisiana governor, to come rescue them, but no set of beliefs, really a decayed conservative infrastructure. It's just a world of pain.
I don't think this was a victory for a progressive or liberal victory. I think this was a victory for Barack Obama.
Forgive me, Congressman, he stood for some things in that campaign.
He stood for some things. I don't think this was a liberal realignment. I think this was an enormously effective campaign.
Look, there's no question. Barack Obama is an extraordinary communicator.
I don't think this was just all about the charm of Barack Obama. I think there were some issues involved here as well.
This was a cultural election as much as it was a political election.
90% of John McCain's vote was white. That's fine in 1976 when 90% of the turnout is white.
The problem is it's a shrinking party. That's the big problem.
The Republican Party is becoming a regional party. The red is concentrated in the South. 25% of Barack Obama's vote were young people under 30 years old. The question is, does this imprint a generation for a generation?
This is a permanent change that's taken place. This was not a mandate for the Democratic Party, not a mandate for some ideology, but a mandate to stop the divisiveness and to roll up our sleeves and get some work done. This is going to resound for years to come.
If his is a competent administration, then I think absolutely we're talking about a realignment that could last for a generation.
Obviously, Chris, I disagree with that. This was not some kind of realignment of the electorate, not some kind of shift of the American people towards some style of European social big government type of philosophy.
This is a potentially realigning election because it does seem to bring together political issues, cultural issues, and ideological issues. I mean, I think that there's some kind of new America out here that the Democratic Party is appealing to much more.
I really do believe this was not a realignment. This was an extraordinarily compelling figure. And the fact that John McCain still came away with, I think, 46% of the vote shows the resilience and durability of common-sense conservative ideals.
Well, the Republican ideas of tight money, low taxes, deregulation, seem kind of weirdly irrelevant.
It sounds like green eyeshadeism, fiscal responsibility. There are a whole bunch of issues that Republicans are going to have to come up with answers for.
I think this is not the moment for the Republican Party to start trying to reinvent itself. The idea that there's been an ideological shift is belied by the polls. I think we can safely say that it's a center-right country, and the liberals know it.
Back in 2004, the same percentage of voters, 37%, identified themselves as Republicans and Democrats. Tuesday, Democrats had a 7-point advantage.
Fundamentally, the conservative movement failed, and I've been in it my entire life, because it hasn't addressed the problems of today. The rise of China and Russia, the rise of inequality, energy, healthcare. It's great to worry about Reagan. I loved Reagan, but those days are over.